Hello and welcome back to Gar1onriva's Top 5 40K Armies. I'm once again joined by Charlie.
Hey guys.
So last time we did numbers 5 through 3, and you can find a link to that here as well as in the description and at the end of the video. So go check that out if you haven't seen that already. And now we're continuing on with our numbers 2 and 1 slots. Charlie's number 2.
Tau. Obviously Geran covered this in the previous video. But it features higher up my list because I do actually collect them myself. The thing I like about them, as Geran said, is the aesthetic. They are a very sleek army. They use very new technology. They have pulse weapons and lasers that are far beyond what humanity currently possesses, which they may have possessed in the past, but they currently don't possess. The battle suits are highly advanced. All of their weapon systems are highly advanced, and they are dedicated to their one means, which is just the greater good. Now, as I also said earlier, it is a join me or die, so they're not quite the good guys, but they are one of the better armies that I think that if they ruled the entire galaxy, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It would be a centre of trade and economic booms and all that sort of stuff. That it'd be a golden age for the galaxy. The Tower controlling it all. We already covered that, really.
Yeah,
so
I can't fault that. Yeah. I mean, they don't go higher up on the list for me because of the stuff that I have much more of an investment in.
Yeah.
But, I agree with everything you said there. Geran's number 2. Chaos Space Marines.
Of course it's going to be in there.
I love them. They're just... part of why I like them is because I started collecting these much later on after I started the Necrons. And they were a bit sort of a slower start because I focused more on the demons. But I love them. I just love the way that they're chaotic and that they don't follow any rules, but the rules they impose upon themselves.
Yeah.
And that makes them sort of easy to collect. Because with other ones, it's like Space Marines, you have to follow the Adeptus Astartes bullshit, and then there are like, the Eldar, where you have to get sort of the right mix of specialist troops, and if you come up against an army that doesn't have you don't have the right mix for, you're screwed. But the Chaos Space Marines, they're just easygoing in an incredibly evil way.
Yeah.
So they've got their warbands, which could consist of absolutely anything. And I just find it really easy to write fluff for them.
Yeah.
So I've written extended fluff. I did a blog a while back where I was writing Chaos fluff.
About your own forces, wasn't it?
Yes, the Howling Crescent Warband.
Yeah.
And I'm still using that sort of colour scheme, and I'm still painting those models.
They look badass, by the way.
A bit slower going. Oh, thank you very much. And I am looking forward to using them in a battle against Charlie at some point.
Woo! I'm gonna lose.
Woo! Yay!
I can't really fault. Again, the same as you with the Tau. It's a good choice. They are easy to write fluff for. It's kind of like how the Space Marines are adaptable, but turned into something that is completely not following rules at all. It's almost randomised. You can have whatever you want and it just doesn't matter. You can follow your own rules, as you said.
I absolutely love the Chaos Space Marines and their lore, and most of their models are really damn cool, like the Defiler. I like my Defiler. And Charlie's number 1.
Imperial Guard. Now, as
I saw that
Geran probably knew, these are just my favourite army. I love these guys. It's not like they're Space Marines, they're superhumans, they're not Eldar, they're aliens with special weaponry, they're not the Tau with their massive high power lasers and things. They are just normal guys like me and Geran, just trying to survive in the galaxy. And the fact that they do it and defend the Imperium is like a massive task. It's something that you wouldn't expect just a normal person to do. They are pretty much the same as the special forces and the militaries we have today, just with upgraded weaponry. They have the same regiment formations.
No, they're
companies. They are very similar in the way that they are formed.
Really not.
They are in the way they're formed.
They're like the ordinary army for the most part.
That's what I said.
They have
the militaries.
No, you said special forces.
Well, they have special forces units like the Kassakin and things like
that. They're the distinct, not special forces. The way that their generals will commit the men to the army by the sort of planet load, just as a meat grinder.
Yeah.
I don't think, by all means tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's how special forces operate.
The vast majority of them are just the standard guys that go in and just are meat grinders, but you do get units like Stormtrooper, and you get Kassakin, and obviously you get specialists as well. They are very good at what they do, mainly because they're highly experienced. They've got 40 years of fighting on the front line and things like that. the way they do it is staggering, really. If you think about it in real life, it just wouldn't work. These guys would not just pledge themselves to death. I wouldn't do it myself, certainly. There's also other things I do like about them. Their dependency on armour. The Leman Russ is the heaviest standard tank you can get in Warhammer. And it gets the job done. They have a lot of also heavy artillery, basilisks. They have the mortars and the griffins and things like that. They have lots of vehicles available to them that you can just chuck in along with the infantry and join the meat grinder and hopefully get that breakthrough that you need to win, well, to carry the day, to carry the planet or even the system.
But it's not strategy though. If you're just chucking things into a crucible and hoping that eventually you'll win, that's not strategy. The Imperial Guard don't use strategy. They use they use orc tactics, Charlie.
They do use orc tactics.
That's what they do.
But it's normal people doing it. That's what makes them so lovable.
I like the Imperial Guard for their aesthetic, because I've been collecting Imperial Guard recently to paint them because I love the aesthetic of the Cadians and the Steel Legion. But I hate the way that the Imperial Guard work as the Astra Militarum work as a thing. And I hate the Imperium and for what they do, chaos for the win.
Yeah.
But it's so poorly done. The entire Imperium is so poorly bloody managed. It is a bureaucratic nightmare.
Yeah,
to get something to work, you have to pray and hope, and just sort of really just hope that they don't think you're trying to betray them by asking for help, because that's what the Imperium's all about, Charlie.
Yeah.
They hate their own people so much that they will kill them by the planet load to try and get rid of one person who might go, actually, I don't think the Emperor's all that great. Exterminatus!
Yes, I do agree with that. The Imperium isn't great. The Tau Empire would do it much better. But the Imperial Guard, the main reason I like them is because they're just the standard guys who just get the job done. And that's the greatest part of them, is just the normalness.
And finally, Geran's number 1. The Dark Angels. I bet you didn't see that coming.
I didn't really expect it, however, when you said it, I think, straight away, just number one thing.
I absolutely love the Dark Angels. Their aesthetic, they embody the Dark Gothic in a way that I feel fits, whereas you just can't take, ordinary Space Marines with their brightly coloured armour, or the Imperial Guard with their, we are ordinary men and we can do it attitude, just doesn't fit into the Dark Gothic sort of thing that 40k is supposed to embody. But the Dark Angels do. They're all about the sort of silent angel memorial type thing. They're their robed Space Marines weren't cool enough. Their fallen angel lore is just some of the most fascinating lore that is in 40k for me.
Yeah, I mean, I myself did actually spend several hours reading up about all the Dark Angels and what happened to them during the Crusade and things like that, so that lore is amazing. Some of the fluff surrounding them is just some of the greatest writing that Games Workshop has ever come up with, really.
But I love that you can have a legal Terminator-only army. I like that you can have a legal Bikes and Landspeeders-only army.
Yeah, they make very specialist armies in that sense, they can only have specialists in their armies, and it's still fine. They count as troops and things like that.
Yeah, and they work as a thing, and the Dark Angels really fit as a chapter. And I think part of why I like them, compared to other ones like the Blood Angels and the Space Wolves, is that they have the decency to be severely ashamed of their secret.
Yeah.
Half of their chapter went rogue. Where and they go to extreme lengths to cover it up, so much so that they are always on the border of people thinking, I think they're hiding something, maybe we should kill them. The Dark Angels are ashamed of it, and they hide it, and they do it in such a stylish way that I just cannot fault them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're my favourite lore, they're some of my favourite models, some of my favourite heroes in 40k, like their characters, Azrael and all of that. Stunning.
Yeah.
And that's why they are my number 1 40k army. And that about sums up our top 5 40k armies. Please let us know if there are any that we included that you didn't think should be there, or any that we didn't include that you think should. Remember that if you haven't seen the first part of this 2-part top 5, it is linked in the description and at the end, so go check that out for numbers 5 through 3. And please consider pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description, to get top 5s a day early. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you later.
Catch you later, guys.